This is candid. Switch Up is a story of rags to riches. Our lead character, Ricardo, goes from a Miami lifestyle, fast cars, beautiful, girlfriends and salsa, to losing it all, and finds himself now living in rock bottom Brownsville, Texas, and living on the streets, and now having to go to a homeless shelter to try and find just his next meal. And so everything is stripped away from him, and we do this through a comedic tone. But when he finally reaches from this point to this point, he ends up befriending some really intricate people that end up being life-changing for him. He meets a character named Charlie, played by the beautiful Jeff Fahey, again, legend. Jeff kind of gives him his morals back. He meets Juliet, who's my sister in the movie. She gives him a little bit of humanity back because they have a little romance going on. And then also the people in the shelter, people like myself, we also remind them what it's like to be broken and still willing to heal. And so the movie is a lot of retrospective on life, because I think that the world, so everywhere you look, it's the same story. And it's so funny. We can go back all the way back to Abraham and his son, and we can go to Moses. It's always the same story. It's somebody with a major conflict in their life that has to find some new balance to them to just thrive, just to be alive. And I think Switch Up does it beautifully within a romantic comedic tone.
How did you prepare for these roles in particular?
So the character Ty is he's a character that lives in a vulnerable space, because he has a lot of situations he's dealing with. He's dealing with homeless people. He has a sister who lost somebody that was a love of her life, and then now she's possibly going to find a new love of her life. And then he has young kids who are from broken homes, and you have the homeless that is sleeping right out in the alley, and you're trying to get them in and just feed them. So his perspective on all of this is like, okay, well, if this is going on in their world, then my life isn't so bad, And I don't think he spends a second ever talking about himself at all, or even looking in the mirror. He just kind of like looking at everybody else, like saying, okay, well, let me help that person. Let me help that person. And trying to find some light and hope in even the darkest, moments. I think it works for the movie. It works for the story. It worked for me as an actor, especially when we're dealing with a comedy, which, romantic comedy, but it's kind of a satire in a way. But those characters have to kind of play over the top, for them to show the extreme, and for my character to be able to, I guess, ground Christian in a way. I have to kind of like drag him into my world and let him see a little bit of my perspective of how life really is. So that's what Ty does. I guess that's how I play Ty.
Oh, gee, playing an FBI agent. I do that a lot. Natural in a way, because I do get cop roles a lot. And so basically just come in with my big mouth and start shooting and just taking command of the situation. And it was fun. I get to handcuff Christian and, arrest him for the whole start of his downfall. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah, but that's how to prepare for me.
And why Texas for the shooting?
That was actually a major part for me to even take on the script. Brownsville is like the small little border town in Texas that not a lot of people even know. People in America don't even know of Brownsville. They don't know of Corpus Christi. They don't know of Yuma, Arizona. They don't know these small little border towns. And these border towns are what is on your news, where all the people are crossing over, where people live in Mexico and they're crossing over to America to work, and then they're going back over the border to live with their families. And then in that duration, what America is saying, oh, these are, immigrants sneaking in. These are people just trying to live a normal life. The ones who do sneak in, and just so I can rewind this a little bit back, the whole southern border of the United States from California all the way to Louisiana was Mexico originally, right? So you think like somebody just moves into your house and says, hey, you know what, I'm just going to draw a line in the middle, and now it's no longer your house. So that's kind of the way that works. So a lot of those people are already there. So Brownsville is almost like as if you're in Mexico with an Americanized vibe, and so that was very, very important for me. As I'm reading the script, I said, okay, this is the perfect setting, the perfect timing to talk about something that's very sensitive subject in the country right now. It's sensitive around the world for people to really understand what's really going on. And there's no better way than to grab a camera, build a story around it, and really show people what's going on. So that was why I chose Brownsville.
Sal brought me on board. He's like, hey, Larry, we got this film, and would you be interested in investing and seeing what it's about? And I was like, yeah, you know what? Throw me the script. So he got me in touch with Tara, and we talked via Zoom because that was kind of during pandemic times. And she sent me the script. I kind of liked it. I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. I'm digging the subject matter, and I really enjoyed the story. So I said, yeah, what the heck, let's do it. And then she asked if I had any acting experience. I'm like, just, a little bit, but yeah. And no, she's like, oh, can you be, after Zooming, she saw I look like a cop. So she's like, would you be one of the FBI agents? I said, yeah, I'd love to. So I spent, I think, 3 days? I think I was down there. We had a crossover day. 3 days on set, and just had a wonderful time. I mean, really, walking around Brownsville, didn't bother me. Being from Chicago, it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Quite honest. It's Brownsville, whatever. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, though. A lot of great people.
Yeah, one thing, like Larry and I, we're both Chicagoans. We've known each other for a good amount of time, and we both, with the way we view this industry and movie making is like really blue collar, and it's not the Hollywood version of making movies. Sorry, audiences, if you wanted to hear that, that's not the way we view it. We view it more like trying to find stories that are really worth telling. Trying to find scripts that audiences and our family members would want to watch.